SODOM, set the world on fire. There you go. Could you imagine having to do show after show screaming like that?
Yeah, that would be a little tough.
Somehow those guys do it, though.
31 years of doing it. Jesus.
Wow. Well, we want to thank Mr. Tom Angel Ripper of Sodom for checking in with us here on the Classic Metal Show. And new CD. Sounds excellent.
Yeah, it's definitely heavy, that epitome of torture. I love that he, as the guy that, I would think named the record, doesn't know that the word EPITOME is not epitome. Did you hear him say that?
Yes.
He said, yeah, epitome of torture. Sounds like somebody might have just slapped that name on him.
Sure.
And he just said, oh, okay, epitome of torture.
Yeah, nice. SODOM. Isn't that funny that they have a self-titled song?
Yeah, well, that's always good.
Yeah. After all these years.
Look, it worked for Metal Church.
Yes, it did.
So why not?
But they did it on their debut release, though.
Well, this is their debut of the 2010s, maybe. No, I don't even think it's that. Never mind.
Nice. Well, there you go. Some Sodom. I see people in the chat room saying that they enjoy that.
I love that stuff. You know me, dude. Mr. Thrash guy. I love that stuff.
And they're going to go get it.
Good. Don't get it illegally, dicks.
Yeah, pay for it.
Yeah, at least buy one song. Buy one or two and then download it.
Yeah. Support your favorite metal bands.
That's better than not buying any of them.
I agree.
I'd rather see people buy like 2 songs and, at least somewhat support these guys instead of just stealing the whole thing.
Sure.
And whatever. People are going to do what they're going to do. And this is coming from somebody that hasn't bought 10 CDs in 20 years. So.
Right.
So I guess I shouldn't talk.
Well, speaking of CDs.
Yeah.
And basically, you want to call an end to an era.
Uh-huh.
Have you been to a Best Buy lately?
Not recently. Not in the last month or two, anyway.
Well, I haven't gone to Best Buy too many times in the last year. I think probably the last time I went to Best Buy was when you were with me here in October.
Okay.
And we ran to go get that sound card for the new server.
Right, sure.
So I think maybe I've been to a Best Buy one time since then.
Okay.
And I went to a Best Buy last Saturday.
All right.
Their CD selection is like down to 2 rows now.
What is it all now? Video games?
No, they've just done away with it.
Oh, really?
Like they're only offering, the most popular or best-selling discs now.
Okay.
Their CD selection used to maybe be like 6 to 10 rows, depending on the size of the store.
Sure.
And you could find just about anything there.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's down to 2 rows.
Dude, I mean, I know you still buy CDs,
Yeah,
but
periodically, yeah, I do still. The last one I bought was that Led Zeppelin Celebration Day DVD CD.
But I mean, most people I don't think want CDs. I don't want them.
Well, that's my point. I said this is like the end of an era. It's like a close of this chapter now, because even Best Buy, one of the bigger retailers of physical CDs, now down to next to nothing.
Yeah, CDs are pretty much the way of vinyl now. Collectors will buy them.
Sure.
But that's about it. I mean, guy like me, I never need a CD. You know what I need? I need the songs on my hard drive literally for 5 minutes so I can upload it to my cloud.
Right.
And then I'm done with it.
Right. Well, then I noticed that DVDs, their DVD section is now very slim. And the Blu-rays, which were all the rage less than 2 years ago,
yeah,
in the cutout bins.
Really?
They literally had bins of Blu-ray CDs, $4.99.
No kidding.
Like they were just, getting rid of the stock.
Well, I can honestly say for me personally, other than what's on my laptop, I don't own a Blu-ray player.
I do not own a Blu-ray player either.
Yeah.
And what was it that Blu-ray was competing against there for a while? Was there were two formats you could get. You could get, was it HD? Was it DVD HD or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And Blu-ray. And Blu-ray basically won out.
Right, but
now that's almost to the point of being, dude,
the problem is nobody wants to go to buy the shit anymore.
Sure.
Everybody just wants to click a button and it's playing. I mean, that's like, you know what's going to be the next thing to dry up very fast? Redbox.
Yeah, well, yeah, because people are not going to go get the physical DVD anymore because you can get it all on Netflix now or Blockbuster or, any one of these, Hulu or any one of these services.
Yeah, I mean, you can use any of the services to get stuff, but then even if you want brand new movies and, stuff that's immediately in the store, like for me, I every once in a while, I don't do it too often because I'm just not new movie guy so much anymore. But when I want to watch a new movie, like when I watched the new Batman for the first time, I checked it out on the Roku with an app called Vudu.
Right.
Which just, I paid my $3 or whatever and I watched it.
Yeah, I have Vudu as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's convenient. Or plus, I have Amazon Prime, so I can watch anything with Amazon as well, and it's all in HD, and it's perfect.
Right.
I think if you're a collector, maybe that's not good enough. But for me personally, I have zero interest for any physical product anymore.
Right.
Just none.
Yeah. So when I went, like I said, I hadn't been in the Best Buy in a while, and I walked in, and I was just like, what's different in here? And the CD section is gone, and the DVD section has been narrowed down to little to nothing.
And you're going to see the next wave is going to be video games. They're going to stop making physical video games. That's coming soon.
Sure.
Same principle. Why not just download it?
Yeah. Speaking of that, I know we're all over the place.
Yeah.
One of the suppliers of video games that I used to hear their commercial advertisement all the time was that GameFly.
Yeah. Are they still even in business?
That's my point.
Yeah.
They were all over the place. You could, rent these games for however long. You just stick them back in the pouch just like Netflix was doing.
Right, sure.
And you send them back and you can get a new game. And I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that advertisement in a while either.
No, they probably went under. No, dude, I mean, I know for me personally, everything needs to be immediate. I have two requirements now, and it's so different from even 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, I had to have, dude, and I'm sure you were the same way as me. You had to have the passenger seat of your car opened so that you could throw a CD book in there.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Have 200 choices at any given moment.
Right.
Right? And now, man, this is how crazy I've gotten with it. I don't even like using my regular iPod anymore, my old school iPod.
Right.
Because I can't access everything.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to use my phone now more and more even in the car, where I'll just, I'll either pull up, if I want radio, I listen to like the CMS network, or, that's primarily the only station I really listen to.
Whatever's on TuneIn or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Or if, I like to have the fact that my Amazon Cloud is available on all my devices. So if I'm in the car, I can, just hit it on my phone and play whatever album I want to that I own. Or, even like Spotify or any of that stuff. You have every album that's available ever to you, and you just push a button and you go.
Right.
It's just easier that way.
Sure. Well, I'll attest to it that when I'm in the car for, any length of time, I'm tuned into the Spreaker via the iPhone.
Absolutely.
So that's what I listen to in the car.
Sure. I was listening a lot this week. I did some driving Thursday. I went to Michigan on Thursday, or to Toledo rather.
Mm-hmm.
And there and back, it was all CMS radio network.
Sure.
Just jamming.
Right.
And it worked perfectly. It worked just as good as a radio, except it didn't fade out ever.
And that's nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well, it is a different world we live in now, and just on a personal note, my sister asked me to come over to her house because she's basically getting ready to get packed up because she's planning on moving.
Your sister that lives here?
Yeah, well, the one who lives here and there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. I don't want to. We don't need to get into where from to where.
Yeah.
I think I know where she's moving to.
Sure. And so she asked me if I would help her at her house.
Okay.
My job today was cleaning out her video closet and packing up 500 VHS tapes of movies.
Oh boy.
But she has nowhere to get rid of them because nobody wants them.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with a VHS tape?
Well, that's my point. But she has all these movies, that at the time she paid anywhere from $10 to $25.
Sure.
A piece.
Yeah.
And probably 80% of them are like new.
Yeah, dude, I don't doubt. I went through a similar thing maybe 7-8 years ago, I guess it was now, where I had cassettes. I had cassettes all over the place. And I've pretty much replaced them all now with MP3s. So literally, I filled up a 55-gallon garbage can with cassettes and just threw them away because I had nowhere to keep them, and I had I couldn't trade them. Who was going to buy cassettes?
Right. Well, she called some of the the secondhand CD stores and things that sell this stuff.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even take them.
No, they don't want that stuff.
Nope.
They probably don't want DVDs anymore either.
Nope. And, then she called, a couple other places, and they didn't want them either.
Yeah. Well, I know you have a lot of movies, don't you?
Well, I have one shelf of VHS tapes.
Okay.
It isn't a lot. I would say that there's probably, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I got maybe 100, 120.
All right. See, that's... You know what my total count is of probably videotapes and DVDs? Probably less than 20.
Really? And
I don't buy them. I have no need for them.
Right. And DVDs, I probably got about 200.
I don't even... But you know what you do that I don't do? You watch music DVDs.
Yeah, I do.
For the first time in the longest time, our friend Amy from the CMS chat...
Right.
Mailed me some DVDs. She mailed me the new Stradivarius DVD.
Yeah, you gave them to me.
Yeah, well, I didn't give you the other one, though. I gave you the Stradivarius, and I kept the Volbeat.
Right.
And I watched the Volbeat, and that was probably the first music DVD I've watched literally since I was on WMMS. So that's probably 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
I mean, it's been that long since I've actually just sat down and watched a full DVD.
Well, you watched. Did you watch the Zeppelin Celebration Day on DVD?
Not the whole thing, and I think I watched most of it on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on YouTube, so I just watched it there.
Oh, see, I watched it on the big screen, with the DVD and the whole surround sound and everything, and it was like pretty phenomenal watching experience. They did such a great job with that.
Yeah. I mean, I watch everything now. Everything now for me has to be digital. And what's crazy is like even TV shows, like this has nothing to do with nothing, but for whatever reason lately I've gotten back into wrestling, like WWE and TNA Impact and all that stuff, just because it's silly and stupid and fun. But I never watch it in real time. I watch the WWE stuff on Hulu, and it's on my screen in HD. And then I watch the TNA wrestling on YouTube.
Right.
It's all on YouTube, and it's all in HD.
Sure.
So there's like no reason to own anything anymore. There's no reason there's no reason to even have cable.
Jackal One wants to know did you watch the Priest DVD?
I told Jackal One, no. I watched enough of it to see that it was pretty good, and then that was about it.
Right.
I still haven't watched it, no.
Right.
I can't even find the other one. Because remember, I was going to give you the second one, and
Sure.
I couldn't find it.
Right.
And I still haven't found it.
Right. Well, there you go. Everything is just disposable, and my sister was really into that. What's his name? The guy that is always Adam Sandler's sidekick. What's that guy's name?
Will Ferrell?
No. Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. Okay.
He has a HBO show called Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, I've watched that. It's pretty good.
Well, she bought the DVDs.
Okay.
And she had the new box set, I think, of the second season.
Sure.
She's just like, you got to watch this Boardwalk Empire. Well, I didn't open it up, and I took her DVD box set back because it was still in the wrap and everything.
Yeah.
She goes, how come you didn't watch this? I said, because it's all on Netflix.
Right.
The entire series is on Netflix.
Yeah.
So you can, just like Sons of Anarchy.
Sure. The only problem with Sons is that's one that I can't wait 6 months to watch. I have to see that one. That's like one of my rare ones that I hate that it's not out there in real time, but I guess you can download it and watch it if you really want to.
Diamond Ryan wants to know, wasn't I wearing a WWF shirt on the Facebook picture? He's making reference to the Sebastian Bach picture. And yes, that was a promotional WWF, the music of the WWF CD release.
Right.
So I got that as a promotional item with the CD.
Yeah, because you're not into wrestling at all.
No, not at all, but it was kind of a cool shirt, and I got the promotional DVD or CD, the music CD, and the T-shirt.
Definitely. No, dude, you know what I'm watching right now, which I watched it when it was out, but man, just watching it now, I'm just picking up so much that I missed. Remember the show The Shield?
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
I am just, I'm like in the middle of this, or I just finished the end of the second season of watching the Shield. I love it, man. What a good show that was. God damn it.
Well, I'm telling you, as much as sentimental as some people are about the whole media, experience, I'm thankful for the Roku and, the access to so many things, because you could just have instant access just to watch things that maybe you missed. Like you missed The Shield. I missed, like I watched it from the beginning, but I was able to go back and watch it again. Watch the whole Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, yeah.
And, and I was talking about this last week, but I'm telling you, if you haven't caught that cartoon Archer.
Yeah, I just started watching it.
That is so goddamn funny.
It's not very right at all.
It is so funny.
Yeah, it's good.
I watched the first, I think they're into the fourth season now, so I watched the first 3 seasons on the Netflix.
Okay.
Love
Nice.
Archer.
Yeah, it's good.
That I'm telling you, it's just some of the crazy shit that those people do.
Yeah. So in your world, what's the best series that was ever on TV?
The best series ever on TV?
Yeah, that you would watch anytime it's on.
I'm a big Sopranos guy.
Yeah, I like that too.
Love The Sopranos. Love, obviously love The Sons. Man. I would say those are my top 2, Sons of Anarchy and The Sopranos.
See, I formerly would put Sons up there, but now that I'm going back watching The Shield, dude, that show is fucking so good. I'm a writing guy, and I mean, it's all about dialogue for me more than the action.
Right.
But my God, The Shield, and it's weird, and because I've been watching it for the last week, is you watch The Shield, and the pattern of how they lay the show out is exactly the same as how they lay out Sons of Anarchy. It's because it's the same guy.
Right.
Kurt Sutter or whatever his name
Suter.
is. Yeah, they both, he wrote both.
Sure.
And literally it's the same patterns. They end each show with the music playing and recapping the emotions of the person and of all the different people, and it's really kind of weird how it's almost the same show, but what a good show. So but Sopranos would be right up there for me. There was a show on ABC called Murder One. It was only on for 2 years, but it fucking ruled.
Right.
There's a couple, but yeah, I think we're in the same boat though, really. Anything with guns, we're into.
Norse Law, Archer Rules.
Well, he's right about that.
I like the access with the new tech, but I think the convenience of MP3 outweighs the loss of the sound quality from CD. Now, do you see or detect any sound quality diminishment from MP?
It depends on what I'm listening to and what the quality of the MP3s are. I mean, if you're listening to it, a big part of it for me is most of the time I'm listening on an iPod or an iPhone. So for me personally, I don't hear a whole lot of quality loss because I don't even own a stereo anymore. I just have, hookups to all my various shit with, speakers and whatnot, but I don't own a stereo to where I would have audiophile, comparison type stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you listen to an MP3 that's a 320 turned up loud, and then you listen to the same song but at 128, you will hear a degraded sound.
Sure.
You hear it a little bit, but hell, the way I listen to music, not enough to care.
Right.
I mean, the only time I care is when I all of a sudden get my hands on an MP3. It's like 32K or something, and it just sounds like ass. But,
sure.
But yeah, I mean, day to day, nah, I don't hear a difference.
Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Hail and Kill guys, how's it going? Purple Hemikuda.
What's up, Purple?
Not much, man. What's going on, guys? You have to forgive me. I'm losing my voice. Getting over a cold.
All right. Well, what can we do for you?
Hey, not much. I just wanted to chime in on your conversation regarding the death of physical media. Yeah, I've noticed that myself, that people just aren't into CDs and DVDs and stuff like that anymore. And here in my town, Milwaukee, we've got one independent record store left, maybe two, but only one that people care about. And even that place, I used to work there 10 years ago, and there'd be a constant stream of people coming in on a Saturday night. You go in there now, and you can see tumbleweeds blowing by. So it's sad.
It's
it
a
really
ghost
is.
town. It'll be closed up before you know it.
Yeah, it will. And I mean, what I was wondering, I said this in chat, is I wonder what this means for the future for getting kids interested in music. Like how I'm sure you guys are like me, when a new record was coming out, you'd head down to the record store, they have the posters up and the things promoting it. It's just kind of added like a sense of excitement to it, or they'd have it playing in the store. It's just really not quite the same on the internet when, yeah, you can go to a band's website and, things like that, or their Facebook, but, do you think this will have an effect in the future as far as getting people fired up about rock and roll?
It already has, because there's very few multi-million selling bands out there anymore.
That is true.
So it already has had an effect. I mean, when just going way back, when say a Zeppelin or a Pink Floyd or maybe even a Rat came out with a new CD, they would sell 1 million units easily.
Right.
Today, 10,000.
Sure. Well,
yeah, I noticed that to even get on the Billboard 200 now, if you sell 30,000 copies, you get on there.
You get it near the top of it now, 30,000. 30. I mean, I know that that band Device, which is the Disturbed guy, that sold like 35,000, and Volbeat sold 35, 40,000 the first week with their new album, same week, and both of those were top 10. They were top 10 on Billboard. So
that's just ridiculous. I mean, if you think about it, 30,000 compared to what would average sales have been considered, say, back in between 1990 and 95, a couple 100,000 or.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, 30,000 back in those days, you would have been dropped. You would have absolutely been dropped from your label. But you know what, though, dude? In a way, I agree. It's kind of sad, but in a way, I kind of like that it's thinning the herd a little bit, because Lord knows there's a lot of crap music out there, and there's anybody with the internet certainly opens it up to where anybody with that can afford a guitar can be in a band today. But the real thing that you find is with the internet being out there is, man, you got to go out there and work extra hard to to get people to notice you. And if there's a wave of the future, in my eyes, you're going to see the disappearance of all record companies. They're just going to go away. And you're going to see bands self-produce their music, and they're just going to hire media companies. They're going to hire, like a different version of a publicist. That's their whole job is going to be to get them exposed. Get them in. They'll be producing commercials for TV and for YouTube and for... And you're starting to see that now. I mean, if you go out to YouTube now, every band, the new craze seems to be these stupid lyric videos where they just play a song and they have the lyrics over it. And I don't know who watches these lyric videos, but they're everywhere from every band. And that is definitely the new way to market.
I would say like the job of what they call branding, to create I guess something like that the fans could, that could generate excitement for potential fans, and then link it into all those different channels like the YouTubes and the Facebooks and things like that.
Sure.
And of course, you also do still have, merch like, T-shirts and of course live performances like tours and things like that. But it also makes me wonder if you'll ever see a resurgence. Like I'm sort of surprised by the lack of interest in, say, like how we were talking about music videos. Now, or we had mentioned that earlier, but YouTube is very popular. But, I've talked to people that are 10 years younger than me, and you tell them how we used to sit around and watch videos, and they kind of look at you like, really?
Yeah, no, they don't get it. But it's... Everything's an immediate medium, and to be honest, right now, that's why probably the biggest, consistent seller is that shitty, horrible mallcore metal music that, where everything sounds the same and whatnot. And the only reason that stuff is selling is not because they're selling any music, but because they make cool T-shirts. They all have cooler T-shirts, and they sell merch. And that's, that is the way of the game today, man. There's nobody selling any music worth a damn except rappers, and that shit's so disposable, and those guys all blow their stuff on, blow and pussy, so it's, none of them are going to be retiring.
That's one thing I noticed that, a lot of those people, as far as disposable goes, your, I don't know, your Nicki Minaj's or whoever, these people come and go so fast. I'm like, am I just old and out of touch, or can I just not keep up with, the person who's popular for 5 minutes? Like this, what's his name, Little John? I don't even know what the guy does. I just know he's got a big grill in his mouth and whatever. He's on Celebrity Apprentice now, and I'm like, who is this guy? What did he do? What? And people, oh yeah, he was popular. Well, what did he do? I've never heard his music anywhere. I'm sure, like even in, let's say, like Led Zeppelin's heyday or Motley Crue's, average person from 8 to 80, even if they weren't into the band, they could at least say, oh, yeah, and have some sort of familiarity with it. They heard a snippet of, Home Sweet Home or something somewhere, obviously a Zeppelin song everywhere, But
right.
These people, it's like, who are these people, and why are they on my television or whatever? Because I'm certainly not hearing them anywhere else or seeing them anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you like that. I get that way even with movies these days, too. They'll be talking about this guy or that guy, and I'll be like, who the fuck is this? I watch The Tonight Show a lot, on Hulu. I just kind of have it on in the background, and they'll be interviewing people all the fucking time, and I swear to God, I feel old as shit because I don't know any of the people. I'll be like, oh, yeah. Here's this guy. He starred with Judd Apatow in this movie, and I'll be like, I don't know this movie. I don't know the guy you're referencing. I've never seen this fucking person before.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. I'm the exact same way. And I know a lot of people, I'm not actually looking at chat right now, but I could assume some younger folks are like, oh, these guys are so old and out of touch. But I don't think it's that. I think that the overall quality of what the major media companies are putting out has just declined. I'm a huge movie fan. I love movies. I grew up on all the John Carpenter horror movies and
right.
the big summer blockbuster Steven Spielberg, George Lucas movies of the past, and movies really used to have legs. That would be stuff that, a cool-ass movie would come out and you'd watch it again and again and again. You could give me your average, Avengers or something, and yeah, you go see it. It's great eye candy, but ultimately it's just forgettable and disposable. There's nothing that would make me go back and want to watch, say, like Avatar a second time. It's just not there for me, and I don't know what it is. But in my opinion, yeah, it's. I mean, and actors too. I mean, what happened to say, like actors that they'd come out with a movie and you could really get into the characters they play. I mean, a lot of these people now they're just faces.
Yeah, they are. They're not, and you're right. And they again, it's media companies that make them bigger than they are. Like that. What's that guy's name? Shia LaBeouf,
right.
Whatever his fucking name is.
Beef or something.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, the guy's been in a lot of big movies. He's considered a big movie star, but he's as fucking disposable as they get. Nobody points to him and says, "Oh man, I dug his performance." He's certainly not a Pacino,
No. And I think that's another thing too in that era. I mean, that golden era of movie making and stars. People like you said, I'll say I don't know who, a Kurt Russell or a Clint Eastwood or you'd see they have a new movie coming out and you'd have some interest in going to see it. You could even put a guy like Arnold in that category, but but yeah, now, I mean, and even for like action people, The Rock is and stuff, who cares? I mean, really, or Vin Diesel, or I don't know. Yeah,
I'm with you, man.
What can you do? I guess just I figure, hey, maybe if we quit, if somebody quits buying this stuff, maybe it'll force them to make better things in time. But who knows?
Probably not.
Probably not.
They'll just keep putting out shit anyway. I mean, the record companies just they've compensated for bad music by just putting out twice as much, so it doesn't stop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it hasn't helped pop music at all in that regard. I mean, I don't think I mean, now in this era of like what is it, auto-tune or whatever that everyone uses, or like those vocal effects that you guys are referring to. What's the one that you can't stand?
The fucky effect.
Yeah, right. Or like the one that sounds like they're talking through the Burger King drive-through. And
right,
stuff.
right.
Just horrible. And yeah, I mean, I would say that it's probably just going to continue to get worse. Your discussion about TV, that is actually something that surprised me. I swore off normal TV back in like 1982 when my house got cable and I could watch weird shit at 3 a.m. like Night Flight. I was like, okay, that or Punky Brewster. Well, I'll stick with the Night Flight, And
right.
I didn't watch it for years. There's tons of shows I've never seen an entire episode of, And it's only been recently that I've started to get back into it. And The Shield, awesome show. I won't ruin the ending for you, but watch all the seasons to the end. The ending will blow you away. It was great.
Oh, I've watched it once. I know how it ends.
Okay.
It's definitely phenomenal how it ends.
Yeah, I mean, that's just wow. Like Vic Mackey is just evil. Yeah, that was a great show. Breaking Bad is really good. I love Sons of Anarchy too. My wife is really into Dexter. I always hear great things about that show, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess, that's been a bright spot lately as far as like the media machine goes, but yeah, a lot of other ways though. I mean, it's, the internet has really been about the biggest boon because like you said, you can go on YouTube and different things and search and, have buddies tell you, hey, did you see this band or here, see that, but yeah, overall though, it's just a whole lot of suckage going on.
That wasn't a racial reference about the internet now, was it?
A racial reference?
Yeah.
Jesus. What did I say?
Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Before we let you go there, Purple,
okay.
Repeat after me. Hey, Beavis, right. I think we're going to score.
Hey, Beavis, I think we're going to score.
Nice.
I can't do a good Beavis. I'm sorry.
No, you got to do. You're more of a butthead.
I'm more of a butthead, I can't do that really good. I'm trying to remember.
you do it just fine, just talking the way you do.
Okay.
I'm just ripping on you, dude.
That's all right.
All right. Well, we gotta get to Jeff Thorpe, so we got to jump.
Sounds good. Well, hail and kill, guys. Hand job, and keep up the good work and all that other good stuff.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill.
Hey, Beavis, I think we're gonna score.
Too funny.
Nice. All right. Well, we got to get to Jeff Thorpe.
Yep.
Vicious Rumors has a brand new CD out called Electric Punishment.
Correct.
And we're going to get Jeff Thorpe on the show. Remember when we first were exposed to Jeff Thorpe?
What, on the show?
Yes.
Was that the James Rivera?
Yes, we had James Rivera on the show shortly after he left Vicious Rumors due to the bottle throwing incident.
Yeah, he got hit in the head with the bottle.
And
by
we
Jeff Thorpe.
and we interviewed him, and Jeff Thorpe called up our request line,
right,
and left a voicemail saying, "Hey, you had James on the show telling his side. I'd like to come on and tell my side. Here's my number. Call me."
Yep.
And we called him up, and we kind of goofed on him a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But he loved it, and he's come back 2 or 3 times since.
Yeah, and I actually talked to him in between albums and stuff too. I've actually sort of become friendly with Jeff Thorpe a little bit.
Sure.
He's good people, man.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him too.
I've had him on, but like I said, we've had him on 2 or 3 times, and I like the guy.
Yeah, and you know, I'm a huge, all the way back from the earliest days of Vicious Rumors. I was into them back in like 90.
Sure.
You know, I loved them as a band. I always have. So it's kind of cool that they're still kicking because they're good.
Good. All right. Well, like I said, the new release from Vicious Rumors is called Electric Punishment. And here's the new tune. This one is called Dime Store Profit. It's Vicious Rumors exclusively here.